Jensen. Jensen, can you read me?
Barely. I've reached Panchea, Pritchard. Any word from Sarah for the UN delegates?
Nothing. The installation went into lockdown shortly after Darrow gave his speech. I can't tell if anyone's even alive. And the signal's still broadcasting.
Meaning no one's safe till I get in there and shut it down.
You'll have to disengage the lockdown first. Look for a master control panel at the top of the tower.
Pritchard, Panchea's broadcast center is at the base of the station near the bottom of the ocean. Is that right?
But the lockdown caused all the blast doors to seal. You won't be able to go down until you override them manually.
From up in the tower. I got it.
I don't think you want to do that, Mr. Jensen. Disengage lockdown, and whatever demons this station contains are likely to come crashing out on us.
Afraid to die, Darrow? Or just unwilling to face what you've done?
Oh, I know what I've done, believe me. I take no pleasure in it.
And yet you still did it.
I did what had to be done. 20 years ago, I gave the world augmentation technology. I thought I was giving it a bright future, but instead I gave it the means to destroy itself. No law, no UN regulation was going to fix that.
People are dying out there. Hundreds of thousands of people driven to the brink of insanity because of you.
I had to convince the world. Before today, people believed we should steal fire from the gods and redesign human nature. Human nature is the only thing we have that gives us a moral compass and the social skills we need to live in peace. Destroy it, and you destroy our very species.
Don't paint yourself a savior in this. What you're doing is insane.
Is it? When this is done, the Illuminati won't be able to control men and women like you as they had planned, from the inside out. No one will be able to use the technology I invented to make others into beings they desire. Something we both know has happened already.
You think you're Frankenstein? Killing his own monster?
Actually, Mr. Jensen, I prefer to think of myself as Daedalus, watching helplessly as his child crashes into the sea.
I'm ending this. Now.
You can't. The signal is being generated from the broadcast center at the base of this facility. Panchea's security system has been programmed to protect it, and will kill you before you even get close.
You designed that system, Darrow. You can tell me how to shut it down.
But I won't. You think what I'm doing is extreme. You simply don't understand. For humanity to survive beyond this century, it must abandon ill-conceived notions about transcendence and embrace change. But for that to happen, the hard lesson must be learned. Blood must be shed.
What you're doing is horrific. It has to stop. You can't force people to change. They have to do it on their own, or they'll end up resenting you for it. And doing it like this? My God, Darrow, it's insane.
It is not insane, Mr. Jensen. Tragic, yes. Unavoidable? No. History has shown us again and again that the human race is hidebound and governed by inertia. As a society, as a species, the only way to elicit any kind of reaction from it is through an act of tragedy. A horrible cataclysm. I regret what I have been forced to do, but given what I know about mankind and the dangers facing us, this was the only viable choice.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. None of it matters, because this is what will happen now. After today, whatever you say will be dismissed as the ravings of a mass murderer. You were one of the greatest minds of our time, and tomorrow you'll be nothing but a killer.
Ravings of a mass murderer? When the truth is revealed, when people know why I did this, surely they will understand. Don't you see? I created people like you. I made it possible for you to happen. If fate had dealt me a different hand, then perhaps neither of us would be here. Isn't it obvious how fate is now conspiring to overtake us both, to grind us beneath her wheels? We must see this through, lest people like you continue to evolve and destabilize society.
People like me? People like me? You're not interested in saving humanity, Darrow, no matter how loud you shout it. This is about jealousy, pure and simple. Everything you're doing today is in service to your wounded ego. Because you can't stand anyone leaving you behind.
I never said that! Mr. Jensen, please! Your body accepts augmentations easily. So easily it's like a disease eating you up inside, making you crave more. while mine rejects them completely. Yet the desire is still there every day. No, Mr. Jensen, I do not envy you. I understand you. I understand the lengths men will go to obtain what God never wanted us to have. It is why we must see this through to the end.
You cover it up with all that pretense about saving the world, try to justify it. But deep down inside, you're nothing more than an angry child, spiteful, full of hate, envious and bitter. How petty is that?
Petty? I was betrayed by my own genetics, ruined by my own flesh. What right do you have to condemn me, to curse me? All I ever wanted was to build something good, something magnificent. And now, there's so much blood. So much blood. I will give you what you want, Mr. Jensen. Codes to shut down Panchaea's security system. But you'll still be in danger. Much of the system is self-determining and lethal. When you see it, maybe then you'll understand. The technology I created will not be the future any one of us desires. Please, help the world understand that.
Richard, the lockdown's disengaged. I'm heading back to the hangar to see if those blast doors are open. Have you been able to raise anyone?
I'm picking up several glimmers, but there's too much interference. I think you're on your own, Jensen.
Careful there, Francis. You almost sound like you regret that.
It's in my head! You're the one!
I've got to do this!
Don't be difficult! This is best for both of us!
There's nowhere you can go! Get away! Get away! Ah! You'll never get me!
Stand still! Hiding. They're always hiding when I need to see them.
Don't you see? I need for you to understand! Just let me explain!
Don't! 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 You ain't real!
Closer! Get away! Get away! Ah!
Don't be different! This is best for both of us! You're gonna pay! You're leaving there! Get away! Go! It's in my head! I know it is! Real! No, real! I can't control them anymore! This can't... Shadows! No! Not here! Just let me finish! Just let me finish! I got a job to do! I got a job! I can't control them anymore! Run! Real! Not real! Not real!
This is William Taggart. If anyone out there is listening, I'm begging you, help. We've barricaded ourselves inside the core server room. Many of us are wounded. Please, save us. Please, save us.
Quiet! I can't think with all that noise! It's in my head! I know it is! Go on! Stop tormenting me! I can hear you! You're the monster! It's your fault!
Mr. Jensen, please. Please, put the weapon away. You won't need it.
You seem to be unaffected by this
Get away!
signal, but Daryl...
Just get away!
How did you manage to avoid being affected by the signal? Were you in on it with that fast, Daryl?
Mr. Jensen, how ironic that you should be the one to save us from the monsters out there.
Monsters, Taggart? You mean people. Augmented people who've lost all control, lost their reason.
Isn't that supposed to be my line? Unfortunately, it seems your esteemed Mr. Darrow decided to appropriate my point and turn it back on me. In madness and in blood. He has betrayed us all.
So you finally admit it. You are part of this after all. You have been all along.
It would be pointless to deny anything now, but despite what you think of us, we never wanted augmentations outlawed. All we've ever sought is regulation, rules governing how the technology is developed, and laws that ensure it's used for the good of society.
You've raised society above humanity. So who gets to make those rules?
Men with wisdom, strength, and tenacity to know what's right. Proven leaders who distinguish themselves like you, Mr. Jensen. You've certainly earned the right to be one of us. All you have to do is take it.
I'm not looking for glory, Taggart.
Just remember that without control, there's no room for freedom, only anarchy. You were a policeman once. You know the importance of order.
I know there's a difference between order and slavery.
The biochip wasn't supposed to force people to do anything. It merely limited power so that people couldn't go on killing sprees like the ones taking place right now.
Amazing how well that worked out.
Say what you will, but I know that some part of you agrees with me. Absolute freedom is no different than absolute chaos. Society needs boundaries if it has any hope of surviving, and you, Mr. Jensen, can be the one to give us that hope. Shut down Darrow's signal, then help me get a message out saying that an accident at VersaLife contaminated the world's neuropozyne supply.
VersaLife? And what if I decided to blame the Illuminati?
The Illuminati is just a name to get rich financiers to invest more money. Besides, do you really think the world will believe in some 18th century conspiracy theory? Do this for us, and you'll ensure a future for mankind, all of mankind, augmented or otherwise. The future Hugh Darrow offers doesn't allow for both.
Let me think about it.
Watching for you, whoever you are.
want to kill.
Get out of here. Keep it together. Keep it together.
What is it? What's over there? Can't control them anymore! Run!
Yeah, I can knock them out with gas grenade.
No, there's no one here. It's all in your... Don't run. It'll be much easier this way.
God damn it. Seriously. This is actually quite good.
Get out of here. Keep it
Pretty cool.
They ruined me. The bastards ruined me. Get away from me.
Anybody there? Can you hear me? I've got survivors here. We've locked ourselves in the machine room. Please! Help us!
Okay. It's good to be alive. We did just use 2 full grenades. Oh well. I feel like I should be picking them up. Getting ready for a boss.
Hey! Hey! Get away! Not real. I can't control them anymore! Run! Let me go! Get away!
Water pressure nominal at 173 psi.
Who am I?
Communications web online.
I feel cold.
Drones 1 through 3 within operational parameters.
I don't remember.
Drone 4 disconnected.
Let me go.
Processing.
Oh God, please help me. I'm scared.
Core temperature stable. Processing.
Zhao, what are you doing?
Connecting to Panchaea's Haran project, Mr. Jensen. The most advanced quantum computer slave to the human brain, and the closest to perfection we'll ever achieve. I'm going to use it to hack Darrow's signal and rework the message to our benefit.
Our benefit? You mean the Illuminati's?
Someone has to override the signal and be the world's savior. And let's be honest, neither of us would trust anyone else to fill that role. Computer, begin EEG sync.
So much pain.
Syncing beta waves at 40 cycles per second.
Sleep, please. Let me sleep.
Incompatible master-slave chain detected. Alert. Unable to transfer control to Alpha Pod.
The system won't recognize my chip.
Neural systems offline. Rerouting control of the
I can't control Iron.
Increasing glutamators by 52%.
Zhao, get them out of there. I have to reach the control chamber.
No! I can still control it! I'm in control! Stop the signal!
Security alert.
Through the primary control panel.
Oh, shit.
Alpha Pod security in place. To access Alpha Pod, purge tertiary pods.
I'm not ready for this. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. But let's go. Okay.
Alpha Pod security in place. To access Alpha Pod, purge tertiary pods. Warning. Pod 2 contamination warning.
I must be the one to alter the signal. Once I do, the council will welcome me.
Am I supposed to avoid it somehow? Connection.
Alpha Pod security in place. To access Alpha Pod, purge tertiary pods.
I must be the one to alter the signal. Once I do, the council will welcome me with open arms.
No! Protect Mother! Stay away! Stay away! Madman is here. Why does he want to kill us? Kill him.
Pod 3. Safety perk.
You have been better served keeping your head down.
Warning. Pod contamination. Pod.
I'll do it, Mother. Just don't hurt anymore. Just no more pain. Please keep him away from us. Security measures are sufficient. Insufficient.
Pod 1.
Once the weight of your gaze touches you, there is no escape.
Pod 2. Safety purge complete. Pod 3.
Hydrostatic pressure rising. Here. Breathe. Here. Here. Systems are... My organic systems under stress will apologize.
Warning. Pod.
Do you see where honor and ambition lead you? To a hole miles deep in the ocean.